Have you ever wondered to yourself, why do I have to pay an HOA money every month? What does an HOA actually do? As a matter of fact, what is an HOA? Stay tuned to find out. What's going on, guys? Brandon here, aka your favorite Minnesota Realtor, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what exactly is an HOA and what do they do for you. But before I get started, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you're notified every time I post a new video. But without further ado, let's talk about HOAs. So first off, HOA stands for Homeowners Association, and the HOA is basically a nonprofit organization that's set up to help run, maintain, and manage the homes within that community. Now, the Homeowners Association is responsible for creating the rules and regulations, keeping track of meeting minutes, and all the financial planning for all of the homes within that community. Now, the Homeowners Association is run by a board of directors, kind of like one of your large companies like Target or an Amazon. And those board of directors are actually homeowners that live within that community or own a home within that community. So, what exactly is the purpose of an HOA? Well, the main purpose of an HOA is to create a set standard and a uniform look for all the homes in the community. Now, what do I mean by that? So, for instance, have you ever gone driving around and you see this house that's completely beautiful, brand new siding, the grass is perfectly mowed, and then you go to the house right next door and the grass is 10 feet long and the house is run down? Well, in an HOA, the goal is to make sure that all of the homes within that community have the same look to them, and that whether you go to this house or that house, they both look equally the same, and it makes the community look a lot more uniform, a lot more cleaner, and it keeps property values high for all the residents that live there. So, who runs the HOA? Common misconceptions are that the property management company is the one that runs the homeowners association, but when in actuality it is the board of directors that creates all the rules and regulations and the standards for the community. Now, again, the board of directors is made up of actual homeowners that own homes within that area, so you can rest assured that the people that are making the decisions on your behalf actually have a stake in what happens within the community as well. Now, the part that everyone is wondering about, HOA dues. Now, if you are a part of a homeowners association, you will be required to pay HOA dues. Now, these can either be monthly, quarterly, or annually. It really just depends on the association, but I can tell you if you are looking at a townhouse, most townhouses are going to be monthly. Now, what do the HOA dues cover? So that's going to vary depending on the homeowners association and what amenities you have, but typically you can expect anything on the exterior of the home to be covered by the HOA. So for instance, siding, the roof, and stuff like that, landscaping. If there was a big hailstorm where the exterior got damaged, the HOA is going to cover that, and you are typically responsible for only the things inside your home. Other things that your HOA dues may cover is if you have a community pool or if you have a fitness center within your townhouse association, your HOA dues are going to help to pay for that stuff. Some associations pay for water and trash, some pay for cable TV. So again, it really just depends on the actual homeowners association that you're a part of, but you always want to make sure you check those things prior to buying a townhome or entering into a homeowners association. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit about what an HOA is and what they do, now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of being a part of an HOA. All right, so let's start with the pros. So the first one is going to be snow and lawn care. You don't have to shovel your driveway and you don't have to mow your lawn. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate doing both of those things, and your HOA fees are going to cover both of those. So you never have to worry about shoveling your driveway again or touching a lawnmower. Number two, exterior work is included in your HOA. So again, those can be those costly items if a big hailstorm comes through or whatever the case may be, damages the siding or the roof, or you have a leak in your roof. Those are all things that the HOA is going to cover and that you never have to worry about. Number three, some HOAs have community amenities like a pool or a fitness center, a space that you can rent out for parties or get-togethers. Those are all things that your HOA are going to help cover and something that you can take advantage of. And then the last one is very low maintenance. So, meaning the big things like the exterior work and all that, shoveling, having to mow the lawn, all that stuff is taken care of. You only have to be concerned about what is inside your house. So, if you're comparing a townhome maybe compared to a single family home and kind of that commitment that you have to it, being a part of an HOA has its perks. All right, now everything isn't always good with an HOA. So, let's talk about some of the cons. Number one, HOAs can have sometimes somewhat restrictive rules as far as pets go. So, for instance, there may be breed restrictions or weight restrictions. So, if you're someone that maybe likes pit bulls or Rottweilers, or you have a 130-pound Mastiff, you may want to check with your homeowners association before signing the agreement to make sure that they allow those kinds of pets. Number two, so because of having the idea of creating a uniform look throughout every home in the community, a lot of the times HOAs are going to have restrictions on what you can have and what you can't have outside in your yard. So if you want to have yard gnomes or plants and all kinds of stuff like that, you might want to make sure that you check with the HOA first to make sure that those things are allowed, because a lot of the times they're heavily regulated on what you can and can't have outside of your home. And number three, which is probably the biggest con that comes with having a homeowners association or being part of one, is that your HOA dues more than likely will go up every single year. Now, this is due to every single year the board of directors will sit down and review all of the financials and create a budget based on any work that needs to be done to the HOAs. So, like if there's any big road work coming up or a big landscaping project, they have to get that money from somewhere. A lot of the times, what they will do is they'll raise the HOA dues to help cover those expected costs. So, when you're out looking for townhomes or about to join an HOA, you want to make sure that you look at the financial documents and make sure that everything looks right. Because the trajectory of the homeowners association as far as cost goes is really going to come down to how well the board of directors is. So those are some things that you want to take a look at prior to joining an HOA. So now that we talked about what an HOA is, what do they do, some of the pros and cons, let's talk about who an HOA is for and who an HOA probably isn't for. Maybe you're someone who wants the best of both worlds of homeownership, but with the low maintenance of apartment living. Or you want to be active in your community and you want to have a say on how the neighborhood looks and what the rules and regulations are. Maybe an HOA is good for you. Or on the flip side, if you're someone who doesn't like to be told what they can and can't do, or you don't want the hassle of having to manage two different payments in your HOA dues and your mortgage, then an HOA may not be for you. Regardless of what your preference is, it's really important to note that every HOA is going to be different. They're all going to have different rules and regulations and amenities and all kinds of other stuff. So it's really important that you do your research prior to buying a home that's a part of an HOA. And these are all things that your realtor can help you do prior to you buying your home. And that is it for today's video. Make sure to hit the like button below if you found this information useful. And if you're currently in the market trying to decide if you should buy a single family home or a townhouse, make sure to watch my video below on single family homes versus townhomes, where I discuss the differences between both as well as some of the pros and cons to help you make your decision a lot easier. But until then, this is Brandonarchie from Keller Williams, aka your favorite Minnesota Realtor, and I will see you guys in the next video.